Okay, think back. Think back to a time where you felt that urge to break free from something that you've outgrown. But perhaps you weren't sure just how or where to start that process. Or maybe you have been holding on to something. And down deep within, you know it's time for change. So today we are standing at the crossroads of transformation, where everything that we have been holding on to, all the things we've been questioning, have the potential to shift and shift big. Okay, the energy is so ripe for change, and it is inviting us to pay attention. It's inviting us to put our focus where it needs to be. It's inviting us to act. But how do we actually take that first step? So join me as we embark on a journey of self-discovery. We will gain an understanding of how to embrace this energy, and by the end of our time together, my hope is that you now have the tools, the insight to go forward with the strength, with the clarity, with love. So hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the positive, loving support you send me each and every day. Yes, I am on the mend, but I'm slow to get to the camera yet, guys. So yeah, these videos will be coming out a little later than they have been for quite some time. Well, then I just disappeared, but here I am. So give you time to heal. You know, I research a little bit. I rest for a little bit. I meditate for a little bit, and then I finally show up and do the video for you. So it's a process and a longer process than it usually takes, but I want to make sure that the messages I bring forward are true, that they're leading you in the right direction. Okay. Welcome to your daily focus for April the 8th, 2025. So, wow, we have the 8 energy, and that is all about growing our prosperity, all about growing our abundance. It could be growing our stature. It could be unbeknown to ourselves, but how we act or what we talk about or who we are to, the reflection of who we are grows respect. Okay, you can't ask for respect. You can't force respect. Respect is something that is earned. And so it's through a day like today, your actions define the person you are. If we look at the daily numerology, it would be a 4 plus an 8 plus a 9. That gives us a 21. So a 21 is time to move forward, yes, but there are some main details that we are ignoring, that we need to tie up those loose ends, that we need to allow for the completions of some of the things in our life so that we can actually step into that new beginning that is waiting for us. And you just don't know how incredibly close it is right now. My goodness. So, well, 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1 is a 3 energy, and that is about the transformation. Today is all about the transformation. The 3 energy is about going forward with a curiosity, with a belief that you're more than capable of what you are about to experience and so much more. To allow your heart to become curious, leading you in the ways that are calling out to you. It could be our voice, it could be our imaginations, it could be our dreams today under a 3 energy. They could be all under the spotlight. Sun is in Aries. Our moon enters Virgo about 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so we'll have, for the most of us, we'll have a full day of Virgo moon energy. So if you ever wanted to talk about having the energy to put completions on things, tying up loose ends, letting go of what no longer has value, okay, tidying up, clearing out the chaos, clearing the clutter. I mean, the Virgo energy is there to assist us, absolutely. Okay, so we have Venus retrograde, okay, sitting conjunct with Saturn. We know that from yesterday and past conversations, is sextiling Uranus today. So we are dealing with a very powerful moment of transformation. Okay, this energy brings unexpected change, but it brings it with some kind of structure. It brings it with some kind of support. Okay, some kind of grounding. It sits in Pisces. Venus is sitting there at 25 degrees with Saturn, and it's about reflecting on our values, our relationships, how we approach money, how we approach love. And Saturn is there, holding our hands and saying, okay, what lessons do we need to learn in these areas? Where do we need to strengthen what we do and how we do it? Is it in the spending of our money? Is it in the growing of our wealth? Is it about who we are within the relationship or what we expect within those relationships? Of what does have value in our world going forward and what we need to let go of and leave in our rearview mirror in order to feel that sense of freedom, that sense of liberation. Okay, so meanwhile, we have the sextile to Uranus. So, oh my gosh, and Uranus is sitting in Taurus, okay? So it offers us this opportunity to break free from old patterns and embrace new innovative ways of dealing with different aspects of our life. Okay, so yeah, it is a time of reflection. It's also a time to build something new, fresh, unexpected. Look at how you value yourself, what we create in our relationships, how we create in our material world. And it's not about just jumping into something new. It's about blending the old and the new. It's about giving it, a new paradigm, so to speak. And Uranus is there, okay? So expect a lot of surprises. Expect the unexpected. That's what I always say with Uranus. Uranus is here to innovate, to change, to break through old modes of thinking, believing. And Saturn's right there giving us the stability, saying that, yeah, Uranus might be a little crazy in what it's thinking, but we've got a solid plan here. This can happen. This is the energy that is here to assist us in stepping into our heart's truest desires. Okay, and having that heart's desire combined with forces of structure to grow our dreams, believe in our dreams. Okay, and it's kind of like while we're being emotionally mentored intuitively to understand what is actually fantasy and what has true growth potential. What we're being asked to reflect upon. Maybe it's our past. Maybe it's what no longer serves us. Maybe it's understanding how we can release an old story or what keeps us attached to that old story, tethered to a yesterday. Okay, it's time to make new commitments to yourself. And it could be about your relationships. It could be about your finances. Absolutely. But it could be so much more than that. Okay, think long term. Okay, there's this underlying tug of war between our dreams and our realities. What we believe of ourselves, our capabilities, what is being offered to us. Remember, the North Node is right there with us, actually in a conjunction right now, right? And going to be until the end of the month. The North Node is where we're going in life. Our footsteps forward, our destiny. And yeah, when the North Node is saying, hey guys, look at this, we can look, but we can also say no to that opportunity. Are we being too quick to judge something? Maybe it doesn't fit into what we think we should be doing, so we ignore it or we push it aside. We should be giving everything our fullest attention right now of, does this mean something to me? Okay, and Uranus is kind of saying, like, guys, I got this, okay? I'm going to bring in this breath of fresh air, okay? I'm going to just upside down your apple carts a little bit. And it's will probably be harmonious energy. Although I will say that, and I don't think I've mentioned it because we didn't start at April 1st. Rabbit. But April is the fourth month, and when we add it to the yearly energy, which is a 9, that would give us a 13 energy, which gives us a 4. So the month of April is all about building those strong foundations. But the month of April is also about very good things happening to us, but we may not see them as very good things happening to us. It's only in hindsight when we look back and we go, wow, if that didn't happen, we never would be on this road going forward. Can you even imagine life without doing this? So We're going to feel that shift in the wind, so to speak, a moment of unexpected opportunity to break free from an old habit or a routine, or, Uranus is here to spark innovation, spark our creativity, help us to think outside the box, and redefine how we approach ourselves in our relationships, in our finances, in our values. It is revolutionary energy we are dealing here. Yet, when we are making those decisions, when we are trying different things, it'll feel free flowing. It'll feel natural. It'll feel right. So if it's not feeling right, then think about it a little bit more, because this energy, once we tap into the flow of it kind of does the work for us. We just have to be present and say yes and do the work. So yeah, it's a time to break free from old relationship patterns, release old patterns that no longer align with our authentic self. Something that maybe has felt restrictive or outdated, okay, can now be given new shape. Or maybe you've tried to change it in the past and it felt like you were hitting a brick wall. Now maybe the opportunity presents itself to actually move through that energy. It's time to reinvent our approach to money, to our resources, redefine our material world in some way, our values, how we earn, how we spend, start writing the new story. Okay, we are being called to ground a change. Okay, to align with our emotional truth, and to start writing the story of what money can do for us and how money will be coming our way. And you may think it's folly and it's so that woohoo stuff, okay? If you haven't tried it, then please, okay? You have no argument because you haven't tried it. It's absolutely free. Okay, and there's many ways you can do it. I've got different ways up there you can do it. You can find your own way. Everybody's trying to sell what to do, and really all you have to do is consistently say the words to bring in the energy, the vibration of money. You have to have great intention to it. You have to have a passion behind it. You have to tap into that passion, that joy, like it's already happened in your life. We have imagination, so yes, we can do that. And so what? Let's say you do it 5 minutes a day, okay? Every morning when you get up, or every night before you're ready to call it a night, you do this little storyline in your head of money coming your way, and you got wheelbarrows full, and you're stacking it up. And this week we're doing a hexagon with the money because we've already did the giant triangle and the giant rectangle, and whatever. Dream it big. Bring it to a laughter, so to speak, but also start to tap into what if I even had the smallest part of that, and I could start to enrich my life. To find something to be the catalyst to create new money streams for myself, or to be acknowledged for who I am and what I give, and so I am being repaid appropriately for my time, for my energy, for my value. Okay, think of this time as an opportunity to break away from a financial pattern that may have been limiting you and start to create a new foundation for abundance. And just try it. Try it for 30 days. My goodness. Or journal about it. Write the same paragraph over and over again. All right, I am ready to receive all of the abundance, all of the money that is awaiting for me by my divine right. As my divine right. It is coming to me now. It is here now. I am thankful for it now. And maybe just rewriting that over and over again will do it. I don't know. But it's absolutely free to do something like that and see where you are in 30 days. And then talk to me again. Okay? Focus on committing to what really matters to you. Okay? Not what somebody else's journey is or what they think your journey should be. I don't care if it's in love, career, finances. It right now is about building a future that's secure and satisfying for you. So embrace innovation, embrace change. Okay, Uranus will bring in those aha moments, those light bulb moments. Be flexible in how you approach your goals, your dreams, knowing that sometimes the best path forward may be one that you really never even thought of before. It's never even been on your radar. Okay, it's a powerful time of reevaluation, commitment, change. It asks us to free from old patterns, while it gives us the tools to build a strong foundation that's going to serve us going forward. I mean, innovation and structure are working hand in hand here. It's encouraging us to allow for the shifts in our values, to allow for it to happen, just to stop blocking it. Maybe it's in our relationships. Maybe it's in our material worlds. Maybe it's the way we reflect on our truest self, our authenticity. But embrace this energy with an open mind, please. Allow your heart to be ready for that transformation. Big changes are coming, okay? Whether you want them to or not, big changes are coming. And some are already here awaiting our invitation to step into the dance. Okay, let's go to the cards. Okay, so all of a sudden I just felt like I was going to have this major coughing fit, which I did. I've got a beautiful tea going here. I haven't shuffled the cards yet because I thought you guys might want to be here for that. But okay, so I'm back to breathing. This is good. It is getting much lesser and lesser, but you know, it comes up out of nowhere, it seems at times, and it just oh, we got a lot of good cards trying to turn over here. I better get to it. So our underlying energy for today is, look at this, the Ten of Wands. What do we need to let go of? We carry so much with us. We carry so much weight, so much burden, so much responsibility, so much obligation. Okay, each of those wands marks energy, time, resources that slow us down, that weigh us down, that burden us. There's also some great growth potential there, but we have to figure out what is deadwood. We have to sit and understand what we need to release, let go of, what no longer has value, what we are tethered to that holds us back from really being authentically ourselves and stepping into our truest of happinesses. What if? Do you dare to even dream it? In all of these talks, have you dared to dream it once for yourself? Because I don't know who told you that you weren't worthy of it, but they were so wrong. And shame on you for believing it, because when you look within your heart, you don't see any of the things they describe. When you look deep down inside, you know you are a beautiful person. You are a beautiful soul having a human experience, and by golly, that's hard. So stop believing those old stories. And start believing in you, your heart center, your magic. Let go of what you carry around as a I see it as a crutch almost. Like we feel injured in some way. Like we're broken in some way. So allow the healing in. Allow the healing in. And it may take some of us just a few days to work through something. It might take a couple of us a couple of years to move through something. Okay, we're not on any kind of timeline. Timelines really don't exist. Okay, it's all like right here and now, guys. But we won't go there. But the Ten of Wands. Now, don't think that the 10 is an ugly number. In fact, the 10 is new growth, right? new opportunities, but only if we take the time to see what needs changing as this wheel turns. Because if we keep repeatedly doing the same thing time and time again and expecting a different answer, okay, kind of, we have to add the change. So what changes are we adding? We want to do educated changes, things we know that hold us back. This is a time that we are supported in making those changes. So try something new, try something different. If it doesn't work, that's okay. That just wasn't the thing. Try something else. Okay, especially with a 3 energy. We should be all over the board trying little things rather than, focusing on this main thing that we want to get right. We should be all over the board trying new experiences right now, seeing what's out there for us. We have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is our worth. We have the 8 energy as well today. I think I've said a couple of times the 26 energy, although we're talking about the 25 energy more today here, the 26 energy is also a part of the energy. 2 plus 6 is, yes, the 8 energy. Growing our prosperity, growing our wealth. Now, does he stick to the tried and true? He is our richest king, and yes, he does. But he also thinks outside the box. His crown is a living vine. He's always thinking, he's being innovative, he's being creative. What gives him that extra percent that nobody else gets? Way back in the day when there was single deck blackjack, okay, and you could count the cards and you would be able to predict whether the deck was rich or poor, whether the deck was going to be, heavy with face cards coming out, tens and face cards, and when it was all, more likely to be little cards coming out. And what it did was it changed the odds to 48% for the house and 52% for the player or something. So it changed it only by 2%, but that 2% made a lot of, well, I don't think they ever became millionaires because most of them were gamblers, so they just gambled until it was gone, but probably had a lot of great life experiences through the money and the waves of money that came in during that time. So we won't go into how I know all this stuff. The King of Pentacles is, you got to think a little outside the box. Yes, we want the structure. Yes, we want the tried and true. Yes, we want some kind of history to go back on to see, how this could go forward. But we also want to look at the new and innovative, and I could speak 1,001 things just in technology alone. So we'll just go from there. Okay, but we have the King of Pentacles telling us to look at growing our wealth, growing our prosperity. We also have the Knight of Pentacles. So 2 pentacles in a row here, and this is about having faith, having a belief, showing up. Even if nothing is showing you that this is going to work, but you feel it in your heart that it will, it's gonna. To just show up and do the work. If you're measuring anything, then measure yourself from yesterday to today. Nothing else really matters anyways. Okay, and it may feel like you've got your head down and you're working hard and nothing's really happening. But don't worry, because when you do lift your head up, when you do look around, you will be amazed at what you have created just by showing up. So stop measuring where you are and just show up. Let everything else happen. Just show up and be ready to do the work. And we have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is about loving your dream, your goal, your desire. Do not let anybody poke holes at it right now. Do not let anybody criticize it. Get away from those people. Get around like-minded people, people that will build you up, people with like-minded interests. Okay, to infuse you with a sense of positivity, to infuse you with a little bit of excitement, anticipation. Okay, we'll get our oracle cards here. So we have a king, we have a knight, we have a queen. Most of the royal family is here, isn't it? So we're well balanced in all structures of our intuition, of our wisdom. Now the knight and showing up, well, sometimes when we hear ourselves talk to ourselves and we think it's our intuition, really it's ourselves convincing us that we should maybe do something a little bit more fun than what our intuition is telling us. You know, it's like you say, I don't care what it takes, I'll do anything. And then this message comes in of something that you're like, yeah, so anything but that. Okay, so let's back it up here a little bit. Let's go back to the tables, guys. Negotiate, because no. And you can't barter. You can't barter with spirit, okay? They said you need to do that. That's what you need to do, okay? So you can go around in circles all you want until you actually do it. But, and we do. And then all of a sudden we hear this little voice saying, or you could do this instead. And we go, yeah, well, I could do that instead. And you go and do that. But that was just you telling yourself that if you did that, then that would be close enough to it and everybody would recognize it and you could move forward in whatever way. Or that dream was going to come true or whatever it might be. Seek beauty, 44. The 8 energy appears one more time for us, huh? So, how is the 8 energy coming across in your life? Are you seeing it on the clock? Are you seeing it on addresses? The channel you're watching? I don't know. Okay. But see what numbers are talking to you. But I mean, the 8 energy is very strong here, which tells me that this energy has a lot to do with our finances, our relationship with money, and being able to make a new relationship, a free-flowing relationship with money. One that isn't stagnated by certain old beliefs or old stories about money and what it does and what it doesn't do. But for you to rewrite the story of what money is doing for you. And remember that money is only a vehicle to get to the real important things, right? This is a time to reflect on love and seek out beauty, create memories, take time to enjoy your experiences, celebrations, and special occasions. The recollection of happy moments will support you. Look not only in the world around you, but also within. Seek out the loving qualities that you appreciate about yourself. Search for your own beauty. Look at yourself and the world around you from a new perspective. See your profound beauty. Absolutely. It all starts there. Because when you truly start to believe that you are deserving of it, that level of belief, it empowers you to go forward with the strength, with the confidence that you would not possess without. Our animal today is, look at this, rejoice with the cardinals. Rejoice with the cardinals. I was reading a little thing. I go down 1,001 rabbit holes. You guys know me for that. And that whether or not cardinals recognize humans. And so they're doing this little test on that. And I'm thinking, maybe I should tease the cardinals around here and see if they'll recognize me. So who knows? What am I looking up? Cardinal, for goodness sakes. Paul left today. We were trying to get ready to, because we did have some errands to do. So, and then he was like just tapping his toe, and I go, what? And he goes, it's been 5 minutes since you put on the one sock. Can we move on to the next sock? Like I'll just drift off into nowhere land. Oh. So, yeah, it takes me longer, guys, but I'm getting better. Rejoice, strength, confidence, red, and joy. In the sight of blue skies, in the sight of the blue skies fills you with joy. If the simplest things of nature has a message that you understand, rejoice, for your soul is alive. Cardinal wants you to know that you need to rejoice instead of feeling sorrowful. You must spend extra time and extra energy to secure your own happiness and in the relationships around you, including with yourself or your higher self. It's a time for you to add color to your life. Which color, which could involve your wardrobe, your surroundings, or by adding a higher energy around people into your life. Maybe there's a person on the other side who's trying to contact you. They could have a strong faith base, as cardinals are named for the cardinals of the Roman Catholic Church. But this person on the other side, regardless, would have been filled with a faithful and loving heart, being a loving partner, maybe perhaps a parent. The song of the cardinal is sweet, strong, and clear, and demands attention, as do their brilliant red feathers. Rejoicing isn't about ego, but about confidence. So spend time in nature. Fill your soul with the simple things. Your life has been chaotic, and you've forgotten how to see the beauty around you. Start by recognizing it in yourself. So yes, love yourself. If there was ever a time to understand how much you deserve in your life, this would be a time, okay, to grow those dreams, to strengthen those dreams, to believe in yourself and master this path forward. Okay, it's a dynamic couple of years. We're being offered great energy right now to utilize. So take some time to stay centered, focused, and go after that commitment that you've made to yourself about your truest dreams, your truest desires, and starting to make them come true. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.